Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Blue Who Review. Today I'm going to be making a video of my experience of visiting the Who shop. Now I remember when I was going to go, I was watching a lot of these videos to find out what it was like, so I thought why not make a video of myself, of my experiences of what it was like. Now the Who shop was somewhere I wanted to go for years and years and years before I actually did, because I think it's so cool that there's a Doctor Who shop. I mean, obviously you don't see many of those, so I thought it was really something cool. And because I lived at London at the time, it was just always something I wanted to go to, and I managed to get the chance to. I went with a friend called Aligi, and it was such a great experience. We went on the 14th of March 2020. So obviously you know what sort of time that was. So the world was a bit crazy at that time. But it was around springtime, so it was a nice time to go. The weather was good. So I definitely recommend going around spring or summertime because that's when the weather's best. So we met at Vauxhall bus station and we got the buses there. I can't remember specifically what buses we got, but I remember we got one bus that went over Tower Bridge, and that was such a great view. So even though I lived in London, it was still such a great view to see. So yeah, if you are going, I definitely recommend going by bus because you see some great views. Even after you pass like all the like landmark things, there are some really nice things on the way. So definitely look out for that. You can see the shift when you're on the bus of the areas. The area the Who shop is in isn't the best, but it's nothing terrible. So yeah, I will admit I was pleased when we were done with the shop. I was pleased to get out of the area, but no, you'll definitely see a shift. Yeah, I definitely recommend a bus because then at the same time you can see lots of views of the London. Plus it's cheaper. So yeah, definitely go by bus if you can because I thought that was a good way to go. So yeah, we arrived at the shop. The bus stop is just outside the Who shop, I believe, as far as I remember. But then going up to the Who shop is very well presented. I remember they had like TARDIS like Doctor Who wallpaper, and their display was really cool as well. Even just seeing the outside was really cool. They had like all the figures displayed. They had like an old fashioned Auton out there. They even had a dinosaur with a little TARDIS in its mouth to replicate Deep Breath. So no, it was very cool. It's probably changed by now, but it was really cool at the time just seeing that outside. Then we eventually went in and we were greeted by a woman saying hi. She was a bit stern, but it was nice she said hi. And yeah, we had a look round. The shop isn't that big and they do cram a lot in. I mean, obviously they cram a lot in because they want to try and sell as much as possible, so they put a lot in. But yeah, it's a very small shop-ish and it's quite stacked out. But I feel like after 10 minutes, once you've had a look round to see what they have, there isn't really that much else to do. So if you are going, I'll get onto it in a minute. But if you are going, I definitely would recommend going to the museum. As far as I remember, it was only a couple pounds, but it's absolutely worth it. But I feel like yeah, if you're going to the Who shop, you definitely need to go to the exhibit because the exhibit probably makes up for the most of it. Like it's such a good thing, and it's like if you go to the Who shop and you don't go to the exhibit, then you're missing out. I'd say on most of the experience. But yeah, the shop itself is really nice. It's got loads of like stock and all that business. You might have heard if you've watched other videos, it can be a bit pricey. You know, I'm not sure how it would be now. It's probably even worse. But I didn't end up buying anything there. I would have liked to, but when you know you can get it somewhere cheaper, you're not really tempted to. But I know they probably pull it up higher to keep the place running. But I couldn't justify spending that much money. I did see like an 80s Cyberman helmet for sale for £500, which I didn't think was too expensive. I don't even know how much they do sell for. I'm not sure if it was an original or not, but I remember seeing that and thinking, oh, that is so cool. So I really wanted to buy it. I was so tempted. And plus, I just started my first job not long before. So I was like, oh, I could get the money for that. But yeah, I was tempted to buy that, but I never in the end. I wonder if they still have it. They might do or they might not. But I'm definitely going to buy a Sideman helmet, probably from the 80s as well, because I think they look really cool. So yeah, that was the shop itself. Then we paid to go to the exhibit. Now, in the shop itself, you aren't actually allowed um, any pictures. I mean, I did try and take one or two just to show my mum. It wasn't to like leak it onto the internet, although I'm probably doing that now. But yeah, so you're not allowed to take pictures. But when you go into the exhibit, you can take pictures. Now, it's really cool when you go into the exhibit because the entrance is actually a TARDIS, and inside they've even done the Roundlers, and at the time it was of the 10th Doctor's TARDIS. So you are allowed to take pictures there, and they even give you the key and allow you to put the key in and open the door. So getting the key and opening the TARDIS door to go in, it's just worth the money itself. It's so cool, and it's really cool. You can get pictures to have a memory as well. So yeah, that's really cool. So the entrance is really good, and then you walk in. It's like I don't know how to say it. It's like not darkly lit, but a bit like neon lights like I've got here, and it's really cool. They've got lots of costumes. Obviously I don't want to spoil it too much, but they do have a lot of costumes from like classic Who. I won't really say what they have, but they do really have cool things. It's probably changed quite a bit anyway, so I probably actually can say a couple things. Like, I remember they had a couple Daleks, like the special weapons Daleks from the 80s, and they also had a console that I believe Colin Baker used for a Doctor Who play, or was it a theatre thing? I'm not sure what it was, but it was one of them. And also they had all other odds bits and bobs, like they had, it wasn't a real Cassandra, but it was like a copy of Lady Cassandra, and then they had that gun that the Doctor was going to shoot the Dalek with in Dalek in series 1. So they had a couple bits. It was really cool, and we were lucky because when we went in, nobody was else was in the exhibit, and the man who worked there gave us a guided tour because we were the only ones there. So it was like we got even more value for our money. So that was really cool because when we ended up leaving, there was lots of people in the exhibit, but when we started, it was only us. So he managed to give us all of his time, which was really cool. So it was like we really got our money's value there. So that was really cool. So yeah, definitely go to the exhibit if you can. The exit isn't as amazing. It's just like a white door you open and then you go back into the shop. But the entrance and going in is really cool. I remember at the time that because it was obviously the 14th of March 2020, Series 12 just finished airing 13 days before The Timeless Child. So it was fairly new-ish into the Whittaker era for them to have any props. I mean, they might have something from the Whittaker era now because obviously it's over now. But I remember at the time asking them that, and they didn't have anything. But the newest thing they had, which I thought was really cool, and I've always remembered this fact, was a gun from the Empress of Mars. And he was saying, guess what it's made out of? And I said, oh, I wouldn't like to guess because I knew it wasn't wood or whatever it's meant to be made out of, but it's actually made out of rubber. And he was explaining how it's light for the actors to use and how it looks like the genuine thing and costs less. So that was really cool. So I learned that fact, and I learned a couple other things as well. So that was really cool. So yeah, if you can, definitely go to the exhibit because it's really worth its money and it's so cool. It's like a little Doctor Who museum. So that's really cool. And I remember once we left the exhibit, we just hanged around a bit because we didn't want to leave, just because it was something so cool. Like we went there and just to have an exhibit and a proper shop of Doctor Who things was really cool. So we like to try and hang around even though we saw everything. But no, eventually we left and then we had a good day after that. And yeah, so it was a really good day. So yeah, if you can, definitely go to the Who shop. And if you're watching this video because you want to find out what it's like going, I would definitely recommend it. It really is worth it. I mean, we managed just to luckily get in just before, obviously, what was going on in the world, which I'm really pleased about because I don't think after what happened, I don't think I would have got the chance. So I would have might if I didn't go then, I probably wouldn't have gone at all up until now. But I always wanted to go, so I'm really glad that I managed it even then before what happened. But no, it was really cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend. Definitely go to the exhibit because it's the best. Like I said, obviously bring some money for the exhibit, but yeah, you can bring some money for the shop itself, but prepare to see some prices that are a bit more expensive than you would see somewhere else. But that's just how it goes. I suppose they've got to keep running. So yeah, I definitely would recommend. I hope this helped if you're looking to go into the Who shop. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully see you in my next video soon. Alright, take care everyone. Thank you. Bye.